I'm not done yet. I come here standing before the world and say, I am not done yet. After all the things I have gone through, all the trials and tribulation, all the things that have happened in my life, I want you to know that I'm not done yet. I still have a lot of energy in me. I still have a lot of power in me. I still have a lot of love inside of me. I am not done yet. But the enemy has already painted the picture that I am fallen, that I am down. He wants the world to count me out. But I'm telling you, don't count out me. Don't count out the underdog. For the underdog has a way of coming back. The underdog has a way of defeating its enemy. The underdog has a way of reaching for victory when everyone else says that it is impossible. I am not done yet. When it comes to standing up for what is right, when it comes to being there for those who need somebody, to defend them, to be a voice for them, to inspire them, I am not done yet. Even though the enemy has already started his work in destroying families all across the world, destroying communities and neighborhoods all across the world, distracting us from what is important, that we are all human, that we all shed blood, that we all shed tears, that we all go through tragedy and pain and sorrow in our lives. But we cannot use that as an excuse not to achieve what we're supposed to achieve. We cannot use that as an excuse not to inspire those around us. For God has given us the glory and the power and the grace to move forward. He has given us the choice and the freedom of that choice to serve him, to do his will. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather be on the side of God than on the losing side of the enemy. For in this life, we must take a stand. We must take a stand for what we believe in. And the only how we can take a stand for what we believe in is to believe in ourselves, to believe in others, to have faith. Even if it's the size of a mustard seed, it is important for us not to forget who created us. No one can destroy us unless we destroy ourselves. We are our biggest enemy. For we have not yet understood that God has given us something more powerful than any materialistic thing on this earth. He has given us the strength and the ability to understand that we can overcome any challenge, any roadblock. So I say, I am not done yet. When you believe that you have me down and out, I want you to know that while I'm laying down, I'm thinking about how much strength I need to get back up. I'm thinking about how God gave me the power of breath, the strength of life. I know I'm not done yet because I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still believing. I still have faith that one day we will live up to the creed of being what a human being is supposed to be. Loving and gentle, caring, responsible, righteous. We must bear the fruit of truth. We must bear the fruit of love. We must continue to defend the line that God has given us to hold. We must maintain the ground that we have already kept. This is not for the faint of heart, but this is for those who know down to their bones that the war has started. All we have to do is look at the news. All we have to do is look out the window. All we have to do is speak to our friends and family and hear their stories. It is time for us to speak for the voiceless. It is time for us to defend those who cannot defend themselves. It is time for us to define our message and move forward with that message. It is time for us to love ourselves and become who we see in the mirror. It is time for us to stop doubting who we are and what we are. It's time for us to stop trying to say that we're looking for our purpose in life and believe that our purpose is already here within us, that our mission has already been foretold, that our story will become legend, not myth. It is time for us to tell the world who we are. And what we are willing to do to maintain who we are. I know life is not easy. I know it's not as simple as waking up in the morning and changing overnight. I know it's not. But one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, we can make it. We can finish this. We owe it to our ancestors who have given their lives for us to be able to stand here today. We owe it to the loved ones that we have lost to death to continue fighting with the life that we have. We must begin to remove the stains of shame, the chains of pain. This is our destiny. To speak, to give our testimony, to fight for our souls. Listen with your whole heart. Listen with your whole soul. Listen with your whole mind. Understand that this is a journey that so many have fallen trying to make it. We owe it to them. We owe it to ourselves. We know who we are. We know what we're capable of. We know the love that is in our heart. We know the desire and passions that we have. Let not any illness, let not any man, let not any situation turn you away from God. Because God is standing in the midst right now. Every angel in heaven is with us right now because the time has come for us to stop being on the sidelines and get into the game. For us to sharpen our swords of truth, pick up our shields of peace, and go to battle. For the enemy has been going unchecked for so long. The enemy has been torturing our people. What is it to be human? What is it to be an individual? What is it to be perfect? Well, my definition of perfect is unique, rare, beautiful. That's what each person is in this world. There are no two people that are alike. There are no two people that have walked the same exact journey. We may have a lot of things in common, but each of us is perfect in our own right. God molded us himself uniquely. He put inside us a spirit that is unique, and he sent us forth to do his will upon this earth, not our own. He never promised that we will have the perfect family. He never promised you that you will fall in love. He never promised you a mansion, a car. He never promised you any of those things. But what he did promise you is not to worry about the roof over your head and food in your mouth, because of the birds and the animals of the land not worry about food and shelter, why should man? He told us to love. He told us to protect our brothers and sisters, honor our mothers and fathers. He told us to defend the word that he has given us, to defend him. He has given us authority to speak and change lives. Oh, I'm not done yet. See, the enemy uses all of our weaknesses to try to destroy us, to try to tell God that we are unworthy to be in his presence. But God has already said that if we do what he asks us to do, then we are worthy to be in his presence. The time is now to release the shame and everything that you have inside, bottled up, the anger. I'm speaking to those who right now don't know where or when help is coming. Help is on the way. Your blessings is on the way. Your miracles is on its way. We may lose a lot of things in our lives. We may lose loved ones in our lives. But we still have a destiny. We still have a purpose. We still have a meaning for our life. And if we don't define it, then the devil will define it for us. The devil will tell God that we are unworthy and unfit to stand ground in heaven. But you and I both know that after living a life in this world, heaven is what we're looking forward to. Standing before God is what we're looking forward to if we have not walked the path of destruction. There are those who will say that they are going to heaven and that there are saints and that they are righteous, but it is not the case. No man can call themselves righteous. No man can call themselves saints, because that is the job of God himself. No man has faced judgment yet. He said on the day of judgment, he shall open the book of life, and he hopes that our name is written in the book of life. We are not doing this for rewards. We're not doing this just to get something. We are doing this because this is the right thing to do. If you're one of those ones who are doing what you're doing just to get into heaven, doing what you're doing just to get the crown and the robe and the glory and the mansions in heaven, then what you are doing is using God. Oh, I'm not done yet. We have to stop playing with God. We have to stop thinking God is a maid to clean up our messes, that we only pray when we're in trouble, that we only pray when we're sick, that we only pray when things are in jeopardy that we want. We have to pray constantly, praying without ceasing, waiting hands praying. If you lost your job, if you're sick, if you lost a loved one, if you lost a friend, if you're battling to hold on to your mind, your sanity, know that God is with you, that he is waiting on you to call his name. He is waiting on you to ask for the authority to move mountains out of your way. Some people think that it is the duty of God to clean up our mess. It's the duty of God to move the mountains out of our way, because they have little faith in themselves, little faith in the power that God has put into our souls when he created us. He has given us so much more than just life itself. And the enemy knows that. The enemy knows that you are unaware of what you truly are, how special you truly are, how powerful you are, and how much authority you have over your own life. God gave us free will for a purpose. If you know sweet, why would you want bitter? If you know good, why would you go after evil? And become evil. If you know what's right, why would you do what's wrong? It is said that when Adam and Eve ate the apple, they would know right from wrong, good from evil, sweet from bitter. They will begin to understand and live in a world where you touch, feel, and understand things through those processes. Jesus said something powerful when he said something to Mary Magdalene. He said, your sins has forgiven you. He said that we were all sinners, falling short of the glory of God, that he came to rip the temple open, to reunite man with God, to give us the ability to be able to speak directly to God. Because if you know the Old Testament, they used to have to build an altar. They used to have to sacrifice a lamb. And Jesus came with a new law, came with a new purpose. He said that we will be divided, and our divisions will become because of our ideals and our morals. Some of us will be against our mothers. Some of us will be against our fathers. Some of us will be against our brothers and sisters, because we must stand up for what is right. And if they're doing what's wrong, we cannot follow them. But each of us must stand judgment. And that judgment is for you and you alone. For you and your own actions and your own choices and what you chose to do. When you get knocked down, you have to get back up. The devil won't give up. He's going to find each and every way possible to bring you down, to destroy you, to make you unworthy, to soil your robe, to soil your soul, to soil your mind and your heart. He's going to discourage you from believing in the elements that will give you power and strength in your life. Oh, I'm not done yet. He tried to do the same thing to Jesus with the 3 temptations. Hey, Jesus, why don't you turn this mountain into a mountain of bread? Jesus said you cannot live off of bread alone. Which means you cannot live on just the word alone, but you must live absorbing everything around you. He took them to the highest point on the temple during the harvest time, where all was gathered and celebrated the harvest, and told him to cast himself down, because every angel in heaven will stop him from hitting the ground. He wanted him to reveal himself, and Jesus said no. thou shalt not tempt thy God. And finally, he asked them to kneel and submit to him, and he would give him all of the kingdom that his eyes could see. That tells you who is ruling the world. That tells you who is in power right now. See, the devil tried to make it seem that Adam was unfit to rule the earth when he ate the apple, because he made that decision. That's what he's trying to do to you. He's trying to get you to eat that apple. He's trying to get you to make that decision. And Jesus refused. Now we'll get into the three temptations again, because there's more powerful stuff that most people don't understand and have not grasped when they are reading. But I will give you this snippet right now. All the things that the devil wanted to happen came true when Jesus was crucified. If you look at our society now, we worship Jesus before we worship God. Jesus said, God is first, my Father. Love thy Father with all thy heart. Some people trying to figure out how come no more major miracles are going on in the world, and it is because the way we worship God. We confuse Jesus with God. Jesus said there will be a new heaven and a new earth. To say Jesus reigns over things now is to say that God is non-existent. God is not finished. He's not done with us yet. We haven't made it to the promised land yet. We must overcome. We must begin looking at the whole equation of life. We must begin to look at each and every individual in our life and ask ourselves, do they want the best for me? Are they willing to give their life to ensure that I make it to heaven? Am I willing to give my life to ensure someone else gets to heaven? I used to tell my students, and I still believe today, that I forfeit my right to heaven. I'd rather sit outside the gates of heaven and make sure that those who truly belong, truly deserve to go, enter into heaven. And people say that's foolishness talking. No, it's not foolishness. That's just the deepness of my belief. My belief is I'm not looking for a reward. I'm not looking for a crown. I'm not looking for a robe. I'm not looking for praise. I am doing what God asked me to do. I'm moving forward. There is no greater gift than the joy that I have seeing somebody make it, seeing somebody overcome their tribulations and triumphs, vindicating them, giving them victory, teaching them how to defend themselves against the enemy. That is what my job is, a philosopher, a teacher. I've been studying theology for far too long to sit here and pretend that the words of the Bible has not more meaning to it than it does. Because it has meaning. It has in it something that only this generation can decipher. We are walking into the end of days. We see the rumors of wars and wars. We see the famine that is going on. We see the young people having children, babies having babies. We see the destruction and the violence on the street corners, the murders, the robberies, the rapes, the child molesting. We see that the devil is ramping up. He is trying to destroy the children of God. He doesn't want us to get to our destiny. Oh, I'm not done yet. He wants us to fail in the eyes of God. He wants to be able to sit next to God and say that we are unworthy to be in heaven. We are unworthy to be in the midst of angels. He wants to prove his case from the beginning. He didn't like Adam. He didn't like the fact that God created another set of humans, another set of love. Another creation. See, the devil was happy being the only child of God. The angels being the only children of God. He was displeased when God decided that he wanted to create something else. Why would you put the powerful spirit inside a body? He loathed us. He hated us. He hates us. But he's slick. He laid traps and temptations for us to fall for, so that he can say that we are not worthy to be in the presence of God. We have to wake up and wise up. We have to rise from the ashes like the phoenix and fly and soar. We have to begin doing what God asked us to do, which is stand firm in his name. To strive to be righteous, to strive to be a saint, to strive to be pure, to cleanse our heart. We won't become perfect in the eyes of God until we leave behind the shame of our lives, the pain, the sorrow, the hatred, the bitterness, the anger. So if you get anything from this message today, I want you to know it's time for you to get off the sidelines, get up off the bleachers. Oh, I'm not done yet. Get up off your butt. Stop treating God like a maid. Stop squandering your life. Stop squandering the breath that he gives you, because if you squander it, it is treason. Because he gave you life to do his will. He gave you life to change the world. He gave you life to inspire many. He gave you life so that you may see the beauty of his power. Let us end this with prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever and ever. Amen. Let us go forth and change ourselves, our world. Let us not deny God anymore. Let us not deny the truth of ourselves anymore. Let us be strong, be brave. Let us have courage to do what is necessary. Let us begin using our voice for those who stand in the valley of the fatherless and the motherless. Let us change who we have become into who we will become. Let us not be afraid. Let us not fear the day nor the night.